Welcome back to the Clarity Convos for Wedding Pros podcast. I'm your host, Aislinn. I was a luxury wedding photographer for 13 years, and now I'm an intuitive business coach. So I help women in the wedding industry revolutionize their mindsets and the way they think about money. So I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about something that I know a lot of you are going to resonate with, but I think that there's more nuance to it than is talked about in the wedding industry. So today we're going to be talking about the 18-month rule. So in the wedding industry, something that is being taught right now is that what we're doing today affects where we're going to be in 18 months from now. And while I don't argue with the ideology behind it, and I don't argue with the actual nuance of what you're doing today is going to affect 18 months from now, I do have some nuance that I want to bring to you that I think is going to really help you get into action. The thing is that yes, we are in charge of creating our next step. And what you are doing today is going to add up and add up and add up into everything that's unfolding for you in the future. However, there is nuance to the 18-month rule that I want to talk about. So one of the things that I see happen when people learn about the 18-month rule is that they kind of get into this waiting energy where they are waiting for opportunities to show up rather than going out and creating them. So today I really want to talk to you about how we can get out of waiting energy and into powerful creation energy. So a lot of times when people learn about the 18-month rule, that whatever you're doing today is going to affect where you are in 18 months from now, they step into this waiting energy, waiting on someone to tell them what to do next, waiting for the universe to hand them opportunities, waiting for some new client to come along and be like, it's time, raise your prices, your moment has come. They're waiting for someone outside of themselves to make the move instead of letting the power come from within and getting into powerful creation energy. They're in this waiting energy of waiting for the universe to show up in order for them to show up. So let's talk about getting out of that waiting energy and getting into creation energy. Let's say in 18 months from now, you really want to have raised your prices past the 5-figure mark. You want to have a course, some kind of self-paced course or a live course, doesn't really matter. You want monthly reoccurring revenue, and you want to be on the speaker circuit. You want to be public speaking at conferences, on panels, whatever it is. So you figure out okay, 18 months from now, that's all the things that I want. Okay, I'm going to get started and I'm going to do some things and it's going to be great. And then what happens? You wait. You're in this, I don't chase, I attract vibe, right? No. I want you to change that I don't chase, I attract vibe into I attract based on my energy and where I point my focus. And I am powerfully pointing my focus towards my dreams. I also want to point out that the 18-month rule starts over every single day. It's not like you set your 18-month goal today and time just stops. You're in continual creation mode. So let's just say in 18 months from now, you want to be on the speaking circuit. So that was one of the things that we had said. Raise your prices, have a course, be on the speaking circuit. So let's just take the speaking circuit as an example. You can't just wait for people to ask you to come speak at a conference or on a panel. Month 12 is going to come along. And if you haven't done anything towards this particular goal, you're going to be like, oh, shoot, I only have 6 months left in order for me to be on the speaking circuit. I said that was something that was important to me. And yet here I am waiting. Time's going to pass and you're not going to be any closer. So how do we get out of this waiting energy? What we have to do is zoom out. We have to zoom out and figure out what are the steps that it's going to take in order for me to be regularly speaking on stages or on panels. And if I were you, here's exactly what I would be doing, because I was you and I am now on many, many podcasts. I've been speakers at conferences. I've been speakers on panels. I've been so often asked to be a guest speaker in masterminds. It's not even funny. Most months I have multiple guest speaking gigs. If you told me 2 years ago that I would be doing this, I'd be like, wow, Really? How did I get there? How did that happen? So I'm going to tell you exactly what I would do if I were you and I wanted to be on the speaking panel and I didn't want to wait 18 months and put myself in waiting energy. The first thing I would do is I would decide what I want to speak about. I would make a list and I would just start to script out a talk before anybody ever asked me. Before anybody was like, hey, do you want to come speak at our conference? Or hey, do you want to come speak at our, event that we're hosting? You don't need somebody to ask you to be a conference speaker in order for you to have the talk already scripted out. That takes you out of waiting energy right there. That's creation energy. Do it before somebody asks you. So the next thing I would do if I wanted to get on the speaking circuit is I would start to network with people who already have podcasts, people who already have spoken at conferences, people who already have educational spaces. And then I would start to invite those people to do Instagram lives with you. Or you can start pitching yourself for being on their podcast or in their educational space. I want you to remember, though, that at this point, you already have something to talk about. You already have something to bring to the table. The next thing I would do if I wanted to get on the speaker circuit and I was going from never being on the speaker circuit to regularly being asked is I would start speaking about what I'm an expert in publicly. So this could be in educational spaces you're in. This could be on Instagram lives. You could go live and talk about whatever you're an expert in. You could go on your stories and talk about whatever you're an expert in. You could create content around it. You could do this on podcasts. If you're able to start getting on podcasts, you could write blog posts. You can make webinars. You can make master classes. You can ask to speak at local events. I just want you to start practicing what it feels like to speak regularly. And opportunities are going to start to show up because you're already putting that energy out there of this is what I do. This is just part of what I do. Do you see how this is so different from waiting for 16 months and realizing like, oh no, I'm 2 months away from that 18-month mark that I originally made this goal with, and I still haven't been invited to speak at a conference? Versus I'm going to go ahead and script out the talk that I would have if I was a public speaker and I was speaking in front of 100 people or 1,000 people. I'm going to go ahead and start networking with people who are already doing the thing that I want to do. I'm going to start inviting people to come join me and talk with me in public spaces. Or I'm going to start pitching myself to be a guest speaker in different spaces. And I'm going to start talking about this stuff before I'm ready. I'm going to start talking about this stuff before anybody ever invites me to do it in a public space. This is the difference between people who see massive, massive transformation in a short amount of time and the people who feel stuck in the same place year after year. This is creation energy. This is what I want you guys getting into. And this is the kind of energy that I bring into all of my coaching spaces. I don't want you in waiting energy. You do not need to wait on other things outside of you in order to go after your dreams. You don't have to wait. Oh my God, this makes me so mad. You don't have to wait to create your dream life. Ugh, like you just don't. You don't need 18 months to create your dream life. You don't. You can start now. You can start shifting your day to day today. You can speed up those quantum leaps in your life by getting super clear on your vision, setting yourself up with support and accountability, and staying in creation energy. I have radically changed my life over the past 2 years. I've radically changed my life in the past 6 months. I did that because I didn't stay in waiting energy. I stayed in creation energy. And yeah, there were fumbles here and there, but I didn't stay in waiting energy for very long. I got myself back into the momentum of creation and the momentum of going after my dreams and the momentum of creating the life that I really, really want to live. I am here to help you. Whether you're in one of my coaching offers, whether you're a private client, whether you are just listening to a podcast, whether you're consuming my free content, I am here to help you. If you're looking for someone who has radically changed their life in a short amount of time, and I did not wait 18 months to do it, and you're looking for someone who gets it, who gets what it feels like to be an entrepreneur, and who gets what it feels like to be in the wedding industry, and you're looking for someone who wants to see you win in everything that you're creating, I'm here for you. I'm so proud of you. And I just want to remind you, you don't need 18 months to change your life. You don't. Things can happen so much faster than you think they can. You have got to get out of waiting energy. You've got to get into creation energy. So I really encourage you today. What does it look like right now? Where are you in waiting energy? And how can you clean that up today? Not next week, not 2 months from now, not 6 months from now, not when busy season ends. How can you clean it up today? If you're looking for someone to support you in this beautiful transformation that you want to undertake, I am here for you. And I have several private coaching spaces available right now. And my signature program, Success Accelerator program, is also open for enrollment. So if any of those things are interesting, you can always find me on Instagram at Aislinn Eileen Coaching and send me a DM there. But there are also things in the show notes for you, including several freebies and several other things that you can join right now. I am proud of you. You don't need 18 months. You really, really don't need 18 months. All right, guys, I will see you on the next podcast episode. I hope that this really sparked something within you. And if it did, send me a DM on Instagram and let me know that you listened to this podcast episode. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a review, let me know all the things that you love about the podcast. And if you have any podcast topics that you really want me to go further and deeper into, you can always send me a message there as well. Until next time, I am proud of you. I love you guys, and I will talk to you very, very soon.